number one. That's why we have to be our neighbor's keeper. That's why you have to extend the sense of community to your colleague, your neighbor, wherever, to discover the seemingly violation you see around. Mr. So-and-so no longer does this. You move close. We are able to trace. And then you extend love. You don't withdraw or ignore. You extend love to such an individual and help him to get help. And what are the stages? One, we need to professionally help him or her to understand his status, appreciate it, and then we'll commence the therapy sessions. Based on the degree of vulnerability, we'll decide how many sessions we are going to have. And Doshima, the first thing is not even to start administering talk. No. Get him to a state and a place where he can rest and relax. Get him to sleep. Give him food. Talk to him when he wakes up. And then from there, you start administering the therapy that is needful. Some of the therapies are talk therapies. Some of them are little exercises. Okay. Some of them are even getting him to just ignore his current situation on a temporary note so that he can coordinate and be himself. And then from there, once you can get him professionally to the point where he realizes his condition, ordinarily nobody would love to die. It is when there is a failure within, substantiated by a failure without, that depression that leads to suicide usually strikes. So when you defeat that thought within him that he has failed within, and that the outside that is non-cooperating can cooperate, then he calms down. He wants to hear you. Okay. And from there you begin to put things together to be able to pull him out of that deep. That's why depression begins with the letter D-E. It's actually a depth within that people sink into. Vital, you are a student out there and you have this sense of bad feeling about yourself, your parents, and whatever. Please talk it out. Get it solved. And then you see, anger, rage, bitterness are very great triggers to depression. When you keep people in your mind, that is a negative pellet that can spill within you and desecrate you. Okay. So it gets you polluted inside. When you are thinking negative, you think bad about yourself, you don't need to take a course in the analog photography to know that negatives are developed in the dark room. So when you sound negative in your feeling, negative in your thought, negative in your action, I'm sorry, you're already on the track of depression, and it can lead you to the trap through the 10 cycles. So that's why we are recommending this simple solution to all stakeholders, schools, institutions, churches, mosques, and wherever, so that on your own note, at your own time, you can go through. Where am I? You can even take depression audit. You can audit your account in Depression Bank and to see whether you are in deposit forms inside. One is a dummy that you always photocopy and assess yourself. The first one, the second one is the one you can do right now. Okay. You put your name, your telephone number, and all that.
So we're using myself?
Yes, to test for depression. Yes.